Hello, I'm Leslie Slayton Brown, and I will introduce our keynote speaker today. You are truly in for a treat. Today's keynote speaker was born and raised from a state where they do things really big, Dallas, Texas. And how fitting that is. Shantara McBride is an emerging international speaker on youth issues and youth development. Her mission in life is to mend, to motivate, and to empower young men and women to believe they are fearfully and wonderfully complete. She comes to us with a big personality and big accomplishments. She holds not one, but 2 BA degrees, one in sociology and one in public affairs and corporate communications from Southern Methodist University. She also earned a master's degree in organizational leadership from Gonzaga University. Ms. McBride is the founder and director of PLOT, which stands for Preparing Leaders of Today, an organization committed to inspiring young people to be more than what's expected, more than what's required, and more than what's modeled. Shantara McBride is currently the assistant principal of student life at Sacred Heart Preparatory in Atherton, California. With big aspirations and a serious dedication to developing young leaders, a woman that loves God in a big way, and a member of my great sisterhood, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority. Please join me in welcoming our dynamic keynote speaker, Ms. Shantara McBride.
Jesus, okay. First of all, I'm sitting there and I'm realizing I have done nothing with my life. Y'all are off the chain. No, seriously. And I know that we are sitting here and we're here to celebrate you, but I'm feeling like I either need to go back to school, I need to do something, because I'm not going to be ready. So I am honored, and that doesn't even give justice to how I feel on the inside. I'm honored and I am moved. And I can't talk too long about that because my friends, I will cry and then we won't get done. So, but wow. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. So, y'all, do y'all feel it? I mean, and have y'all gotten to the practice yet of celebrating each other? Like, I know that we're here to celebrate you, but I need y'all to also get into practice when they go through what we are saying about each of you. Celebrate one another. That's not in my speech, but I need y'all to understand that that is what you are going to need from today on. So get into that practice and be louder than us when we are celebrating you. Again, that wasn't written down, so don't take away my time. Okay, so since you know, and I guess I better state, can I take this off? People? Okay, okay. So, I'm an assistant principal, which means I am the one with the rules. Okay? So, my keynote for you today is all about rules. I only have 3 of them, and then I will sit down and we will continue to celebrate you and ooh and ah. All right? Are you ready for rule number 1? Rule number 1 is very simple. I'm sure you have never heard it before, so let me give it to you. Rule number 1 is be thankful. Be thankful. Be thankful. And I say that because I'm looking around this beautiful church and I'm seeing people in the audience who I am sure helped you get to where you are. I'm certain of it. I felt it when we were marching in. There are people who are so proud of it. There will be people at your graduation crying harder than you. And then other people will look around and you will even be embarrassed just a little bit. Like, get yourself together. Because because we're proud. And sometimes it will take over us emotionally where people will think, well, did you get the degree? I mean, and I'm telling you this because when I graduated from SMU, my grandmother, I had no idea that when I started SMU, my freshman year, my granny moved me in, helped, everybody else, because everybody got to go with you to get you in, make sure your sheets are on tight and all that kind of stuff. So my grandmother went with me, and what I didn't know until I graduated from SMU is that my grandmother cleaned the dorm that I lived in my freshman year. She didn't tell me that. I'm the oldest grandchild, right? So for her granddaughter to be in the dorm that she cleaned, You see what I'm saying? So at my graduation, although I was the one they were giving that folder to, I really should have just had her come up and get it because her emotion in it, I was like, Granny, calm down. Granny, I thought, I'm not kidding, she was going to bust a shout up the aisle because my granny was excited. So I have to constantly say to her, thank you. There is not a day that goes by that I'm not aware. I am aware that I'm only who I am because of them. So I am never too uppity. I don't care how many degrees, I don't care how many people I have spoken before. It doesn't matter. I am who I am because of them. So I have to say thank you. I got to say thank you. And let me also tell you, my grandmothers, both of them, are praying grandmamas. So when I tell you I just knew she was going to run down the aisle and bust a shout, it's because she stayed on her face praying for me. So I had to get into the practice of being thankful and not being too proud to say thank you. Sometimes when I'm just driving in my car and I look at the beauty of where I live here, thank you. The fact that I am here standing today with all the stuff and the young woman with the poem, babe, when you said survival, thankful. Rule number 1, be thankful. When you get to that next level, be thankful. Don't ever get so caught up in your GPA and all your accomplishments to not say thank you to somebody who helped you get to where you are. What is rule number 1? Be thankful. Okay. Rule number 2, be humble. Be humble. Be humble. Now, I am one of the, because you meet people and we spouting off your GPAs and all your accolades and But remember to pause for a second and be humble with yours. Don't get so caught up. Be humble. Because when you show humility, you also show that you are aware that there was a road that was paved for you. You are aware that somebody died. And when I think about it, sometimes I get it makes me pause because I'm overwhelmed by the people who fought for me. I mean, who fought for me, who cleaned for me, who died for me. So again, I can't ever get too high that I can't remember that there was someone who came before me. So I have to carry a level of humility. I have to. That also reminds me that when those are coming behind me, like you, I got to make sure that I keep myself in a position to teach because I've been taught so much. So when I remain humble, I will stand with you. I will stand beside you. I will listen to you. I will give what little knowledge I have because I'm humble. I don't get what I have just to keep for myself. It is important that I remember I'm responsible to you. I'm responsible to you. The people that are in this room, we're not here just because it's a good Sunday afternoon. It's beautiful outside. But we're responsible to you. So I'm asking you to stay humble because somebody's watching you. They need to be able to ask you questions. They need to know how you did it. And you can't just say, I just got it. I'm just cool. No. You need to go on and tell them you stayed up late. You were working hard. You earned that A. Even though there's some people that don't really work hard, and I can't stand y'all. But there are some folks, there's some folks that earned, you work for that A. You know what I'm saying? So when they ask you how you got there, you can say, you know what, this is what I did. I talked to this teacher, went to that place, I did that, wrote that paper, did a rewrite, did that outline, talked to my teacher. Let them know. What's rule number 2? What's rule number 1? What's rule number 2? Okay, good. Last rule. Be marvelous. Be marvelous. Okay, so when I say be marvelous, I constantly, I think about So my mother didn't get to go to college. My mother had me at 19. And my mom is in Dallas, so but she know I tell people that, and we're not ashamed. I'll be 40 in 24 days. Yep, right? So I'm excited, right? So my mama had me at 19. When I think about my biological father and his absence in my life, that kind of used to get to me. Because I'm thinking I'm pretty great, right? But there was somebody who didn't want to be attached to me. So when my mother found out that she was pregnant, that dude was like, oh, for real? How gone? Seriously. But my mother said all she knew was she had to take care of me. So again, when I think about who I am and Esther Armstead. So when I say be marvelous, there was a season of my life that I had to study what I was designed to be, why I was here. I've started asking those questions of what am I here for? What am I here to do? What's my plan? What's my purpose? And that actually led me to Scripture. And so I began to truly get an understanding of what it means to be wonderfully made. So when I think about how God was shaping me in Esther's womb, and how God knew me before I showed up, and how he was shaping me to be wonderfully made, fearfully and wonderfully made. And so I had to condense that, because I'm like, what do you mean fearfully? What's it? So the more I studied, it means marvelous. So when I truly think about, I was created to be marvelous. So when I'm asking you to do is act like you were created to be marvelous. Because you were. When you were being shaped and designed and formed, and I'm telling you, when you showed up, there was somebody somewhere that did a run and shout, and they were so thankful that you showed up. They oohed and ahed over you. They couldn't wait to pour into you and give you everything they had, because you were designed and shaped to be marvelous. When you got on their last nerves, still, they were like, let me do it, because that's the marvelous one right there. When you got to that point in your life, when you got that attitude, and that happened around 13, when there was just silence in the house, you didn't want to answer no questions. They didn't want to ask you no questions, because all the answers were, I don't know. Didn't know nothing. And you sitting there with 4.0s and 5.7s, but you went through this season of, I don't know. Marvelous. So what I'm asking you to do is to be marvelous, because I don't care what statistics say. I don't care about that family member, because I think everybody family got one. You know what I'm saying? They sitting there, you ain't, well, when sit down. So I don't even care about them. I don't care about that one person at your school that's like, man, so I ain't nobody. Marvelous. Being marvelous affects the way you think. It affects the way you act. It affects who you allow in your circle. It affects what conversation you are in. It affects everything that you do. So you can't forget it, because, see, when you were in the womb, you were designed, you were shaped that way. It ain't nothing you can do about it, because that's the way it is. So be marvelous, walk in it, but be humble and be thankful. So every day, there should be several times of your day that you are just saying thank you. And I promise you, when you do it enough, it'll catch you off guard. Because when you think about either where you've come from, where those who came before you came from, those who came before them came, and you just say thank you, you won't be able to stop. What is rule number 1? What is rule number 2? What is rule number 3? God bless you. Thank you.